Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decipher the corporate world. Today we're diving into a proxy statement from Applied DNA Sciences. Don't worry, it's not about whether their executives prefer chocolate or vanilla ice cream. It's about some key decisions that could reshape the company's future. Think reverse stock splits, stock options, and executive pay. Let's decode. Scrolling states temsters securities and exchange. Common screw-up of this document is essentially a notice and request for your vote, as a shareholder should be aware of. The main event is the 2025 annual meeting of stockholders. If you owned Applied DNA Sciences stock on April 3rd, 2025, you get a say in these matters, and it's all happening virtually. No need to travel. Your vote really matters. The board of directors is urging you to cast your ballot either online, by phone, or good old-fashioned mail. But what exactly are you voting on? First up, you're voting on who gets to be on the board of directors, basically the people steering the ship. You'll also be asked to approve CBIZ CPAS PC as their accounting firm, the people who make sure the numbers add up. Scroll-gunning the board of directors discretionary claim gets you authority scroll cannexed. Things get interesting. They want the option to do a reverse stock split. This is where they take a bunch of existing shares and combine them into fewer shares. It sounds complicated, but the goal is to increase the stock price. Think of it like exchanging a pile of small bills for a few larger ones. They want flexibility on deciding the ratio, anything from 1-for-5 to 1-for-50. The filing also requests approval for the exercisability of certain stock purchase warrants. In plain English, they're asking if they can allow some people to buy stock at a set price. Scroll approve an amendment to the company's 2020 equity tax and incentive plan scroll. They're also asking to expand the number of shares available in their employee stock plan. This is to give the executives incentives. As always, shareholders get a say on executive compensations and its frequency of voting. There are 6 people nominated to be on the board. Getting elected means getting the highest number of votes from shareholders. Most of the other proposals, like picking the accounting firm and allowing the warrant exercise, need a majority vote to pass. Essentially, more than half the shares that actually vote need to say yes. The reverse stock split is a bit different. Here, yes votes simply need to outweigh the no votes. Abstaining basically doesn't count either way. The meeting is entirely online. If you want to participate, you'll need a 16-digit control number found on your proxy materials. No number, no vote, and no questions. If you own shares through a broker, it gets a little complex. Some items can be voted on by the broker even if you don't give them instructions, but others need your explicit direction. Definitely contact your broker to ensure that your voice is heard, otherwise the broker will vote for you on some things. The board is urging you to vote yes on everything. They want all their nominees elected, the accounting firm approved, the reverse stock split authorized, the warrant exercise okayed, the stock plan expanded, and their executive pay blessed. Let's look at the directors up for re-election. Scroll James A. Hayward Dofty. It's KG scrolls. First, we have James A. Hayward. TechDSCD, he is currently Chairman and Chief Executive Officer and has been in charge since 2006. His background is in molecular biology. He founded a biotech company in England. Robert B. Cattell has been a director since 2016. He was formerly Chairman and CEO of Keyspan Corporation and Keyspan Energy Delivery. Joseph D. Sickley joined the board in 2014 and is the founder, president, and CEO of Biocogen LLC, a bioscience company. He's got a background in biotechnology. Yakov A. Shamash joined the board in 2006 and is a professor of electrical and computer engineering at Stony Brook University. Sanford L. Simon joined in 2006. He was a professor of biochemistry, cell biology, and pathology at Stony Brook. Scroll Elizabeth Schmalz-Kai. Elizabeth Schmalz-Shaheen joined the board in 2017. She has served as president of American Flavors and Fragrances LLC. She also worked at Estee Lauder and Bath and Body Works. Scroll predictions of appointment of tutors in Cratchit Public Accounting Firm Scroll. As for the number crunchers, the company wants you to approve CBZ CPS PC. They took over after Markham LF left due to a change in ownership. Before they left, Markham signed off on the company's financials for the past few years, although they did mention some concerns about Applied DNA Sciences' ability to keep going. The fees paid to Markham were $60,204 for audit fees and $50,985 for tax fees. Now, about that potential reverse stock split, the company wants flexibility. They could combine anywhere from 5 to 50 existing shares into a single new share. The goal is to boost the stock price, which they feel will attract bigger investors and keep their listing on the Nasdaq exchange. But they also point out the potential downsides. The stock price might not actually go up, and it could even hurt trading activity. There's a time limit. They have until 1 year after the meeting to do this. Also, if they don't make the minimum bid price after the split, they will get kicked out of Nasdaq. They think the reverse split can attract more investors. They point out some may not invest in low price stocks. Now, for some details you should be aware of. If this happens, then you might end up with fractional shares. Well, the company will not give out those. Instead, they will round it up to the next full share. If they split, then all shares underlying warrants will also be adjusted accordingly, and your option price might change. On the tax side, they believe there will be no recognized tax with consult to your advisor. Next, the request to approve the exercise of some stock warrants. These warrants were issued in a prior offering to raise money. They raised about $6.5 million back in October with this offering. They promised to get stockholder approval for these warrants, and that's what this vote is all about. Basically, Nasdaq rules say they need your okay to issue so many shares. In this way, AI twivel of an amendment to the Company C 2020 equity called Henmi Incentive Plan School. And finally, about adding more shares to the employee stock plan. They want to add another 3 million shares to the plan. This is to encourage, motivate, and to get great people to come work for them. The board has the power to do the selecting of people, but here are some notes. They cannot, without prior vote, take action to lower the shares price. They can do adjustments. Scroll equity compensation plans approved by security COKFT holders scrolls. There is an existing plan, and this is what is going to change the overall number available. Scroll non-binding aids the reapproval of the compensation Tassin Teen Tooth App 2 of the company SAGE. Named executive of officer scroll, and as it is the law, they are required to ask if the named executive officers should get the compensation they get. All the rules of compensation are disclosed here. This proposal is on a non-binding advisory basis, so they do not have to listen to the vote. It is more for a general understanding of how the shareholders are feeling. Finally, you get to recommend how often you vote on these compensations. Options are annual, every 2 years, and every 3 years. The board is saying every 3 years because there are parts that incentivize long-term gains, and you won't be able to accurately judge in an annual review. Let's touch on some of the corporate governance items. Most of their board is independent, meaning they aren't directly employed by the company. The same person, Dr. Hayward, is both CEO and chairman. They think that helps with clear communication, but it can raise questions about oversight. But a majority of their board is independent. These committees are all made up of independent directors. These committees are for compensation, nominations, and auditing the company. Want to nominate someone for the board? Better follow the rules in their bylaws and provide lots of information in advance. They do have a code of ethics for employees, officers, and directors. The board did not put in place policies that stop people from betting against the stock. Here's how the top people are getting paid. There are 4 people the investors care about: Dr. Hayward, Beth Janssen, Judith Murrah, and Clay Shorrock. For this fiscal year, it looks like there will not be any cash incentive bonuses. Also, for the fiscal year, there has been no long-term stock-based compensation. If a worker dies or is disabled, they will extend times. There are also parameters for what happens when the participant leaves the company, so read up on that in the report. The table will show you the compensations for the past 2 years. Now let's see what that actually means. Scroll James A. Hayward, TAR Chairman, President, and CEO Scroll. Dr. Hayward made $380,623 in $2,000 in 2023 at M. Jameson made $300,000. In 2023, Aston Jollers in 2023. Scroll Judith Murrah to CIO. CEO Scroll Judith Murrah made 292,055 euros in 2024 versus $542,750 and 723. Scroll Clay Shorrock, Executive Director of AccioCap CA Busier Scroll. Clay Shorrock Business Development Scroll Clay Shorrock made $300,000 in 2023. They did not grant any equity awards during the last fiscal year because of the low number of shares available for awards. Scroll value of initial it-twen increnti dollars investment. Based on scroll is an overview of financials. If you bought $100 worth of the stock, it would be worth about $107 is 7,010. As N8X as of 2024. The net loss in thousands of dollars is 7,000 of dollars is $7,000 is 7,088 as of 2024. The net loss in thousands of dollars is 7,431. Total compensation for the PO Dr. Hayward in 2024 was $387,233, whereas the average compensation actually paid was $297,352. Altium Growth Fund owns 6.117%. Anson Master Funds own 5.84%. Michael Bigger owns 5.79%. SHN Financial Investments holds 5.57%, and L1 Capital Global Opportunities Master Fund holds 5.45%, and L1 Capital Global Opportunities Master Fund holds 5.45%. This Master Fund holds 5.45%. If you want to submit any proposal, it must be submitted after Jan 22nd, 2026, and before February 21, 2026. Now, stepping back and looking at the bigger picture, Applied DNA Sciences is clearly at a crossroads. On one hand, they're trying to boost their stock and attract investors with moves like the reverse stock split. On the other hand, the potential for share dilution and the dependence on shareholder approvals could create risks. The biggest opportunity seems to be in growing shareholder returns and increasing revenue. The biggest risk involves the dependence of the company on outside factors that are out of their control. In conclusion, this proxy statement presents some big decisions for Applied DNA Sciences. It's now up to the shareholders to decide. It may be best to seek a professional opinion or conduct a thorough analysis before coming to a decision. Thanks for watching Corporate Decoder. If you found the information useful, hit that like button, drop a comment, and of course subscribe for more insights into the corporate world.